Good morning. This is Raptor News Ministries. I was going through a couple of videos. It's amazing. Yep, they erased it immediately. So I was going through Facebook this morning, and they had somebody. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me stay focused on what it is I'm doing here.
This is exactly what happened to me. Same house, no claims, nothing changed.
Sorry about that.
The bill. Every year it went up, and every year.
So, anyways, there was a post about that Samoan, whatever her name is. She's a politician, and she made a comment that if all of those Islamic people were to go back to their countries, that the black people from Africa would follow them as well. And all of the posts were, take your asses back to Africa. Get the fuck out of here. We don't give a rat's ass where you go. Go, get out of here. Go, 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 right? So guess what? I go in there and I start posting, take your asses back to England. Not one post. And they erased it, so naturally I can't show you, because that's the way this system is, folks. I wish you understood that you are in a spiritual battle with your soul, and that's the price. That's what's up for sale. Okay? So we're going to go over a few things, a lot of information about the definition of sacred, where the word sacred comes from. What does it mean literally when you look at the word sacred? S-A-C-R-E-D. Sacred. Sac-Red. Okay? Now when you do the etymology for sack, it means to overturn a city. Sac-Red. So when you sack a city, it is sacked in red. By what? The blood. By the blood of those people that have died, and has been spilled all over the ground. This is why they're called sacred grounds, Sac-Red grounds, because the colonials that came over here, the English mutt faces, and I really got to let you know, I really hate the English. I hate them all, okay? Because they're maggots. Do you understand? Why do I say such a thing? Well, let's open up something here. Let's take a look at a few of these atheist programs. The atheist experience. See, I don't shut my microphone off. I don't even know if this thing's recording or if you guys can hear me. Okay. I never shut my microphone off, ever. I don't shut it off. But these guys mess with my settings, and they push different agendas and stuff. So, the atheist experience. Well, they're going to play with my computer now. Hold on. So, here we have the atheist experience. And I believe that Mark Dillahunty, it's amazing, they don't even have his mutt face up here. His face is usually the first mutt face that you see, is good old Mark Dillahunty. Okay? This dude right here. Okay? Now, an atheist's argument, you got to stick with me on this, okay? An atheist argument is that if there's one lie found inside the Bible, this mutt face here, okay? And these people, they all laugh and they mock at you, and they're jerk-offs, all right? Not one of these people will come to my channel and challenge me. And you can bet your ass that if I'm on that channel, within 3 to 5 minutes, they'll be kicking me off of the show and then sitting there and talking shit about me when I'm offline, because that's what they do. They dismiss the Bible simply because it's a book of lies, right? It's true. The Bible is a book of lies, folks. If you haven't figured that out, then that's the first thing that you more than likely need to figure out in all of this, is that the Bible is a book of lies. Why? Because it fell into duality, okay? We're going to be covering a lot of different things today, starting with the word sacred. So the word sacred had to deal with also duality, all right? Definition of duality. Okay, I got to make these connections for you so that you understand exactly what you are and what has happened with us. Okay, the quality or state of having two different or opposite parts of elements. Okay, so now we go individuality. Okay. Individuality is a total character peculiar to and distinguished as an individual from others. Individual. Okay. Why is this so important to me? Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. See, atheists want to disclaim the Bible because it has lies in it. Well, folks, this is why the Bible takes discernment. But see, atheists don't want you to use the Bible, and Christians, I keep telling you, are the ones that are teaching the lies of the Bible. So when you come to a channel like mine and you see this information here, this God, Elohim, okay, created a man. A man is ruddy, Adam, a human being, but this isn't a human being, folks. Okay, there's two races of people that are created. You have a race that's created on the sixth day of creation, has everything to do with Revelations 13:18. Now, the minute I say that on an atheist show, they'll cut me off, and then that's when they'll start talking shit that you have to disclaim the Bible, because if there's one lie in the Bible, then you have to dismiss the entire Bible. No, I'm trying to teach you that the Bible was written in duality from this man who creates, here it is, look, self, properly self, a demonstrative sense. Now, when you look at the word demonstrative, it means passion and overflow of love, but you have the very word demon and demonstrative. So you need to start seeing the language and what it's saying within the language. So him, this God Elohim, right here, Elohim, plural of Eloah, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of a supreme God. The Elohim are used of a supreme God. Images of the brain. So when people teach you about the brain, okay, this in reality is probably as close to what you're really going to get, because the brain, when you look at it, is scientifically underneath of a microscope. Not one cell touches another cell. These people that are in science want to know what it is, the glue that binds the material world together. Okay? So here is your brain. Okay, what are you looking at here? You're looking at a left and right hemisphere of the brain. Okay? Now, people don't understand that this here is the tablets of God. Images of the Ten Commandments. Okay? They have sold you two tablets like this and externalized for you the truth about the tablets of God. You understand these? These two tablets right here are these two tablets. The tablets of God, the commandments that are written on the higher mind, the left and right hemisphere of the brain. One is feminine, the other is masculine. Okay? Now, whether you understand this or not, both of these brains, the left and right hemisphere, must find balance so that the male and female can reunite as they once were before they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You understand that the brain was split in half after Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. They split into two factions, into two individuals that fell into duality. Yeah, wow, this is outstanding stuff. Yeah. Duality, okay? So what you're looking at right here, this is the Ark of the Covenant. Images of the pineal gland, because this is what is sacred. You understand? This is where the word secret comes from. It comes from the word secrete. Okay, because this part right here that you're looking at, this is called a corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is millions and millions of nerve fibers that hold the left and right hemisphere of the brain together. Okay, and then you have, what is the largest artery that goes center of the two hemispheres of the brain? Okay, you have the anterior cerebral artery. Okay? And this anterior cerebral artery images, I want you to understand that give me a second. Sorry about this, folks. What I teach is the real deal. You understand that my lessons are bar none better than anybody's lessons. Of course, you got to always have your sex right in front of your face. They got to have the beautiful women in there. They shove it down my throat like I mean, always, constantly. See, what is this even in this area for? What does it belong here for? I'm looking at anatomy and they show you women in bathing suits. Satan said that he would destroy mankind by money, power, and pussy. He said women, but he really meant pussy. Okay? That's what he's destroying the earth by. Okay? So in our brains, I don't see any. Okay, this would be a good shot. You have these two arteries right here that go up and lead up into the brain. All right? And the whole purpose of this, what am I getting at? Images of the Red Sea. So this is what they're selling you because they're externalizing everything in the Bible. You understand? They want you to think that the Ark of the Covenant is out there. They want you to believe that the tablets of God are out there. They want you to believe that the Holy Grail is out there somewhere. It's a cup. It was made. The Holy Grail, well, is it? No. The Holy Grail, folks, that I'm trying to bring you into light is the brain. Okay? Where the pineal gland is. Okay? This is where Jacob wrestles with the angel. Genesis chapter 32, verse 30, Bible Hub. And he names the place Peniel. Why Peniel? Images of the cerebellum. Okay, and this is where the lesson starts right here, is the cerebellum. Here you have the cerebellum, which is the lower brain. You see this brain here? It covers the ego mind. The God brain, this is the God brain, and this is the man brain. This is the ego. This is the cerebellum here. And it's based right at the bottom of the brain stem, which is what? 33 vertebrae, 33 vertebrae, and this is a good shot of the man brain. Smaller than the God brain. And this is where your tablets, the 10 Commandments, are in us. They're in the brain. Now, when you try sharing people where the word Sac-Red comes from, Sac-Red, because we're talking about death, and we're also talking about the brain, because we're talking about the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum images. So the little green right here is your corpus callosum. All right? And this corpus callosum is what holds the left and right hemispheres of our brain together. But when we go to the etymology dictionary, and we're going to be hitting a few words today, you have corpus, which is literally a body from Latin, and it means the Corpus Christi, which is where you get the Christos, where you get the chrism, where you get the Christ fluid. Okay, now also is a blessed sacrament. Okay, so here is what's really important to understand, is that the word ment means mind. Sac-Ra, you have Ra, which is the deity sun god, Sac-Ra, mind. Sac-Ra's mind. Sacrament. You got to start understanding the language that is within the language that we're speaking. So the corpus, literally the body, means death. Okay? Okay, so the word corpus, corpse comes from corpus, and it is a human or animal body, whether living or dead. Now, don't you find that fascinating? I keep trying to explain to people duality. Okay, understand that duality exists. It's always going to exist. You're always going to have two sides of an argument. Whether it be right or wrong, there's two sides. A dead body, especially of a human being. Why not mankind? Why not mankind? Let me show you something. Bring you back to the start. So this God, Elohim, which is the lower mind of the cerebellum, okay? We have corpus now, we've went over. Now we have bellum. Okay? Bellum, okay? Antebellum, literally before the war. Wow. Wow, that is absolutely mind-blowing. Before the war. What war? The war that took place in heaven. Okay, the bellum is a place of war, also in reference to the American Civil War, post, after, see post, bellum. Bellum means to war, folks. Bellicose. Okay, parabellum. From para, imperative, or parar, to prepare. To produce, procure, bellum, war. Okay, so this is the war that is going on in the head, because This God here created man in his own image and in the image of God. In the image of God. An image is to shade a phantom. It is an illusion, a resemblance, hence a representative figure, okay? Especially an idol. This God that creates himself in an image of God, in a likeness of God, in the form of a God, in the phantom of God, is an idol. It is an idol. It is a vain show of itself. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19, Bible Hub. The nations, this is what I'm trying to help you understand. Rarely goy, apparently from the same root as the jiva, a foreign nation, hence a Gentile. Wow. A Gentile, as a troop of animals or a flight of locusts. I've told you guys this at least 150 times over the last 5 years, that the Gentile are the troops of animals. The Gentile are images of troops marching in ranks. These are your Gentile. These are your beasts of the field, each according to their kinds. Okay, if you support the military and you don't understand what it is that you're supporting, that's one thing. But when you support the military and you understand what it is you're supporting, then those are devils. There are literally billions of demons and devils that possess flesh suits. All right? So now you understand when it says here in Jeremiah, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and refuge in the day of distress, the Gentile, the nations, will come to you from all ends of the earth. Why? Because they own all ends of the earth. The Bible tells you that the earth was turned over to the hands of the wicked. Okay? The wicked are in control of this plane of existence. But where is this plane of existence? It resides in the lower mind of the cerebellum. This is where we are at war with our higher mind, our God mind, our spiritual mind. We are spirits that are trapped now inside of a flesh suit, and the war that exists between us is the left and right hemisphere of the brain, which is man and woman, okay? And then what has happened, when they ate from the fruit, the brain was split in two, and we fell into individuality, because this God that creates him, self, properly self, okay? Definition of individuality. Definition of self. Now, also look at the word self. What do you have here? You have L. And you have an elf in self. Because this God that creates himself in an image is a mage. So the definition of self, okay, and individuals, typical character or behavior. And individual, this is why I'm teaching you guys duality, because the very word individual means properly self, but then you have the word divide, D-I-V-I-D, without the E on the end, divide. D-I-V-I in Latin means to divvy up, to divvy our brain up into what? Duality, a left and right hemisphere of the brain. Adam and Eve were at once one with one another. When they ate from that fruit, and God said that you will surely die that day if you eat from the fruit, they were divided into individuals, which fell into a world of duality. And this is why you have two sides to every argument. This is why they post stuff on the internet to get you all bent out of shape. This is why they have the abortion argument. This is why they have the LGBTQ&A argument. Is being gay, one way or another, is it really a sin? The atheists will teach you all day long that sin does not exist. And folks, that is a lie. Go watch. Why do you think they call Las Vegas Sin City? Because it's a city of prostitution. It's a city of gambling. It's a city of partying and staying up all night. That's the reason why. So when we come to sacred grounds, holy location, why is this important? Because when the pilgrimage, and the definition for pilgrimage is a person that takes a long journey to a holy land, sacred grounds. That's what America was. It was sacred grounds, okay? And the grounds that we took were of the Native Americans. Okay, Native Americans. So if I ask you what language you speak, and you say, well, I speak English, doesn't that tell you what you are? So this is why Facebook does this stuff every morning. You understand that they've literally taken over my accounts. They only let me see what they want me to see, and they're always pushing content in my channel that they know is gonna create some kind of dialogue from me, that I'm gonna jump inside their little cavern world of this dirty ass screen that we all stare into like freaking puppets, swiping your life away every freaking day, 100 freaking swipes, watching 30-second commercials. What do you think that does to your brain? It makes it impossible for you to engage in any kind of dialogue with the person for longer than 30 seconds to 60 seconds. After that, the mind is already, it's probably thinking of a swipe. It's probably thinking of a video that it saw earlier that day. You can't stay focused when you're staring at 30-second videos all freaking day. And it's always the same thing over and over and over. So you see, America was sacred. It was a land that was sacked by the English, and the blood of the indigenous Native American people that lived here bled red on the land. So when Facebook pushes these political statements in my room when I wake up in the morning, because it's always the first thing that they're going to do. It's always, every time, they're going to put something in my thread on Facebook that I really don't care about. And I really wanted to see that video again this morning where I don't know what her name is. I know that she's... Who is it? Let's find out who she is. Give me a second. Who is the female congresswoman that is Islamic? Who is the female congresswoman that is Islamic? This one here. Okay. What is it? Ilhan Omar? Images of Ilhan Omar? Images of Ilhan Omar. So this woman this morning made a statement on my Facebook page saying that if they left back to Islam, that all of the African Americans would follow suit and leave America too. And then there's nothing but a bunch of freaking white pig English mutt-faced mother effers running their mouths saying, go back to Africa. Go back. Get the hess out of here. Go, go, go. Oh, I wish I had that post. Because the minute I wrote, go back to England, they shut that shit down. Oh, they shut my First Amendment right to speak out. You got to understand that the English folks are the devils. They are demons inside of flesh suits. And we that are here in America, calling ourselves Americans, are not Americans. We are English that came to America, and we destroyed the natives of this country through our individuality while we fell into duality. My point is made. My point here in all of this is duality. The Bible has become duality. So when Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 7, verse 6, Bible Hub, do not give what is holy, the Bible. Do not throw your pearls before swine. The pearls are the parables, because the word pearls is in parables. Let's see. Give not which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet. They trample your pearls, your parables under their feet, and then turn again and rend you, kill you. Okay? Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine. Okay? Pearls are the parables. Look at the word parables, P-A-R-A-B-L-E-S. Pearls is in the word parables. So when Israel didn't listen to Yeshua telling them to stay out of the towns of the Samaritans, or they're going to get a hold of your book and trample it under their feet, then what happened? The Bible fell into duality. You understand? It is a book of both lies and truths. And it had to be done like this. Otherwise, it would only be the truth. And in a world of duality, you must have the lie. So the Bible fell into duality. And this is why it takes discernment to read the Bible and know what's being said. An atheist wants to discount and remove the Bible from you and won't allow somebody like me. They'll debate all day long between Christians and atheists. Why? Because Christians worship the devil, false devil, and atheists don't believe in God. And most atheists come from Christianity. And I need you to understand that atheism is just another form of making money. That's all it means to them. It's just another job. It's just another fucking 10,000 mouthpieces running their mouth against a creator that support pornography. They don't see anything wrong with it. They don't see anything wrong with gambling. Folks, if you watch any kind of pornography at all, what are they trying to teach you today? What a stepson sleeps with stepmother. Stepdad screws stepdaughter. Aunt screws fucking... it's all family. It's all trying to lead you in... This is called indoctrination. If a young child sees over and over and over and over and over these young children screaming out for daddy, 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 who's your daddy now, spank your daddy now, and hear that stuff all over, then what do you have? You have, because folks, 80% of the people that are in this plane of existence are step parents raising step children. And this is what Satan wants. He wants the stepchildren and parents fornicating with one another, cheating. It's all by design, okay? So you see these porn sites and they say, what does it say? Sin City, the devil's videos, devil's films, Well, who's the devil? Mankind. I keep trying to tell you that mankind are the devils. These right here that are created on the sixth day of creation, this God Elohim that creates a man in his own image, is a mage, is a phantom. It is to shade. To shade what? In a flesh suit. You understand? It is an illusion. You must understand the significance in all of what I'm sharing with you. Illusion. Now, when we take the word illusion to the gematria calculator, it's 666. So this God here that creates himself in an image is 666. Okay, now when you look at the word lie, bellum means to war. We're at war with our minds. When you look at the word lie, L-I, you have lied. It's High Germanic liet from Old German liod. The Proto-Germanic lives. Give me 1 second. Let me get this out of the way. You know, it's funny is Facebook, I try friending my families and stuff because they're not in my context because the brain on my phone died. I lost everything, all my contacts, everything on my other phone. All my notes, everything that I wrote about anybody because I'm a writer. I write, folks. I write all day long. I spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day, every day today, writing comments, commenting in people's atheist channels, commenting in Christian channels, commenting on anybody who is opposite of the truth. So the very letters L-I mean to lie. So when you look at the word living, when you look at the word live, when you look at the word live, it is a lie. Why is it a lie? Because this God creates himself in an image. The image is an illusion. The illusion is 666. The image is an idol. This is why when you guys see Donald Trump and stuff, you idolize Donald Trump. You idolize Joe Biden. You idolize the government. You love your government, your American government. You say America is the greatest country on the face of the earth. America was the most beautiful country probably on the face of the earth until the English arrived here and slaughtered the indigenous natives of the country, gave them bear blankets and shit with polio and diseases in our blankets. We just did horrendous, awful, terrible things. We used to ride along the train. They used to have guns on the trains back in the day. And when the conductor rang the bell, everybody could grab a gun and shoot the buffalo out the side of the train. Yeah, just kill them. Just shoot them and leave them laying there. That is an evil, demonic being, people that do that kind of stuff. Slaughter animals, leave them laying in the field, don't use their meat. See, the natives of this country, they taught their children how to be self-sufficient. They taught their children how to grow their own food. They taught their children how to bring water into the camp. These people were far, far more intelligent than any of us. So when you understand this creation here in an image, which is a mage, okay? I'm a mage. It's right there. This God is a mage. It is a magic man. It is something that has placed itself in power. So God created man in his own image. So you guys are creating yourselves in your own image, your vain shows of yourself. It's very clear right here. Over here in the King James Bible, okay, that inherited lies and vanity. Okay, you are a vain show of yourself. You are a vain image of yourself. The image that you look at in the mirror is not you, but it is something that is inside of you. And the pineal gland, where Jacob wrestles with God and names the place Peniel, Cerebellum, bellum. We are at war. Everything that is taking place here is taking place in our minds. So the pineal gland is the eye of the lamp, as we see here. Give me 1 second. Right there. Why is this eye illuminated? Why does science illuminate this eye for us? Because this is the eye of the lamp. This is the all-seeing eye. This part of the brain right here, the pineal gland, is a recording device. Everything that you do is logged on this part of your brain. And at death, what happens is a file, your life file, because this isn't your first life. You've probably more than likely been incarnated in this world hundreds of times, because you claim your faith as a Christian that you're born again. Born again just means exactly what you're saying. If you're claiming that you're a born again Christian, then that means that you're going to be born again into this plane of existence, into another avatar, living another life, going through the same freaking experiences that you went through in the life before. And then when you have a moment where you're looking around, you're like, I've been here before. I've seen this place before. I know this place. Okay. That's deja vu. And what that really is it's a recall. It's a recall of your last life, because you were here before. You've probably been here hundreds of times before, going through it over and over and over and over, just like the movie The Day After Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. They're putting the truth right in front of you, folks. Now, I couldn't find images of the artery that goes through the 2 hemispheres of the brain. Okay. Here we go. Well, it's not. Let's see. You guys just can't let me do this the easy way, can you? You see this right here? This artery? You know what that is? You know what they consider that? They consider that the Red Sea that parts the Red Sea. The tablets, these are the tablets of God, okay, left and right hemisphere of the brain, made of water, as so above, as so below. Our brains are damn near 100% water, okay, because water retains memory. Through scientific experiments, water reacts to language, it reacts to voice intonations, voice inflections. It it reacts. So water has memory, and that is what our brain is. It's when Moses separates the Red Sea. This is the Red Sea, and the left and right hemisphere represent the Red Sea in the externalization of what the Bible is saying. Because I'm trying to teach you that everything that's going on inside of the Bible deals with spiritual ascension. It deals with inside the mind. Let me show you something. Revelations chapter 13, verse 18, Bible Hub. So the very word insight's definition is mind by implications. So you see, my information comes from the higher mind, because even though I'm in a world of duality, and duality is around us everywhere, I choose to reside in the higher mind, where our tablets of God reside. The commandments reside on the two tablets, the left and right hemisphere of our brain. Okay? They've externalized it. They've made it a lie. Okay, get rid of sacred grounds. The natives, we did that one there. Okay, now, who is the father to Enki? I need you to start understanding that there are Samaritan gods that are deity gods. Enki, Enlil, Anu, Ninhursag, the Anunnaki. Okay, and Enki is the name of the sky god and is named as the father of Enki. And Anu also, A-N-A. This is why I'm trying to tell you that the language that we are speaking has the gods inside of our head. We're speaking names of other gods in our head. So why is it that Enki here, or the Sumerian god, what is this on top of his head? Can anybody tell me what it is? Because I can tell you what it is. That there is a portable, movable tower. It's a cell tower. That's what that is. Okay? And our ancients, who we laugh and say, we don't, or we're much more intelligent than our ancients were. Let me be very clear. You have been dumbed down so freaking far that you couldn't even manage to create your own thought. Why would I say such a thing? Because these gods have practiced magic and incantations on you, okay? These are primordial gods. They lived for probably thousands of years in a flesh suit, all right? And when they created our flesh suit, these gods here, okay, when they created a cloned flesh suit, because this is what they were trying to do, they were trying to remove the burden of mining their gold and precious metals and their stones and everything, and create a body as a slave suit to work for them. But what they needed for the body to work was a soul, a spirit inside the body to animate the body. Without the spirit, the body doesn't move. When you die, the spirit leaves the body doesn't move. You're buried and you're stuck into the ground. That's the way it is. Now, what you got to also understand is, watch, who is the god Ae? Okay, Ae, also spelled Enki, is a major deity in the ancient Mesopotamian mythology, revered as the god of wisdom, fresh water, and magic. Well, any god that you're speaking about with magic isn't a god you want to follow. Revelations chapter 21, verse 8, Bible Hub. Okay, right here. Sorcerers. Okay. Pharmacias. Wow. Farm. Make us. Harm. Make us. Look at the word structure. Pharmacias. Us. Make us. Farm us. They are farming us with sorcery and magic. You think, what's his name? David Copperfield making the Statue of Liberty disappear and then reappear was a big trick? Folks, these are magicians and magic people that are pulling the wool over your eyes. And I've taught you this as well, that, look, what is the number for pharmacy in the Strong's Concordance? Now you had pharmakias. Now you have pharmakia. Okay? Pharmakia, which is sorcery and witchcraft. So pharmacy is sorcery and witchcraft. All right? And this is why they changed pharmacia in Latin here, F-A-R-M, pharmacia, pharmakia, F-A-R-M. They changed the F to P-H, and they changed the F-P-H to the F sound so that they could get the word harm. Harm us. Pharmakias, harm us. They are harming us with their drugs. Okay? They are the ones that are poisoning us. They are the... I mean, I had so much information on my phone when my brain died. I mean, I don't even think my brain died. I think they killed it, because the information on my phone, it allowed me to go out and immediately pull up pictures and stuff of everything that's taking place, man, of what pharmacy means. I have it all on my phone where I can show the people exactly and not be just... I can share the scriptures without having a Bible in my hand, but the scriptures that I had on my phone because I want to show everybody the precept upon precept. It's needed for a visual, for people to see the visual. So now you understand that a sorcerer, anything that's practicing magic in sorcery, is, gonna burn with fire and sulfur. How are you gonna burn? This is the second death. The first death is born into this plane of existence in the sin. You're dead. This is why they call it the corpus callosum. Okay, this is why they call the government a corporation. This is why they have a red cross, which represents death. Okay, red cross represents death, not what you think it does. The Sumerian god Enki, and these are the gods that wrote images of our vowels in English. Okay, A, E. So I came over here and I asked you guys the question, who is A, E? A, E is Enki. So when we say our vowels, Inky, I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. Also, this is a chant, A-E-I-O-U, 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 A-E-I-O-U. That is the vowels. Do you think they're written in an I-O-U in this manner for any other reason? Folks, I am a master at deciphering the scriptures today, man. Why? Because I've put the time in to realize that we are elves. That God that creates itself is an elf. That's right, you heard me. Yes, and while we're at it, let's talk a little bit about methane blue. Okay, this is a new product now that people are, they show you, you got an eyedropper, they stick it in your mouth, and your entire mouth turns blue. You swallow it, takes a day for the blue to go away. Do you understand? And what is methane blue? It is FDA approved medication and popular wellness supplement. But it causes this color. What's it made of? Dye. Oh my God, the word dye, D-I-D-Y-E, it is a dye, methylene. Why is this important to me? For this reason right here. Dimethylene tryptamine, DMT, okay? Dimethylene, right there. Methylene again. Die, D-I means to die. Okay, they just added an E to the end. Die, this is why die is in the word soldier. You don't even get a G-E-R from a D-I-E-R sound, folks. You die, the word die is in soldier because when you die at war, you lose your soul. You are eternally trapped in this plane of existence. Dimethylene trap. Look at how trap. That is trap. The trap the mind. Trap the mind. Dimethylene trap the mind. DMT. This is the Christos. This is the chrism. This is the Christ fluid that's produced inside the corpus callosum that traps the mind. It is dimethylene trap the mind. So people that are taking that methylene blue, you don't understand that these people create stuff that can cause cancer and illness and sickness years later. Okay? So when I tell people, look, man, these people don't care a dime one about you. They care about money. That's it. And sickness. Vaccination, folks. 666. Now, I prove everything I say. So, Revelations 13:18, when it speaks about a man, well, it speaks about wisdom, insight, a beast, a man, and a number 666. 666 isn't one man. Okay, I can prove all day long that 666 is a hive of men. 666 is a system that we live in that has been created by man. So the methylene blue, folks, I would say no go. Don't touch that shit. Stay away from it because you are dying your mind slowly. Dying your mind with methylene blue. Don't take any products that they say are for your good. They tell you that vaccines are for your good. Do you realize when I was born in the 60s that 1 out of every 5,000 children had autism? 1 out of 5,000 in the 60s. Today, that number is 1 out of 30 children have autism. Why? Why? Because of this right here. Vaccinations. That's what's causing the illness, folks. This is what's causing the mental illness on our children. Okay? They're forcing you to take vaccinations to be part of their demented system when you are higher than these beings, these body snatchers that have hijacked our mind, that literally reside in our minds. Everything that is taking place when how we view the world out with our two eyes on our forehead is simply a way that we view the world eternally through the all-seeing eye. So I'm giving a no on the methylene blue, and you will hear reviews from hundreds of people saying how wonderful methane blue is, how it lifted them up, how they became smarter, how their memory came back, and all that shit. And it may be true. It may be true. But what are the side effects for using a product like that over the course of, say, 4 or 5 years? Side effects, anybody? Do you think? Yes, absolutely. Everything they serve on this plane of existence, including the food, gives us side effects. So that's a no on methane blue. Okay. Jesus tells us to pay to Caesar's what is his. Okay. And they marveled at him. Again, El. I want to make connections to you to understand the God El that dwells within the cerebellum, that is at war with the higher mind. You see, God created evil, but it's in the mind. It's in our mind, in the cerebellum. The cerebellum is a prison, folks. The cerebellum is where we are imprisoned. You understand the ego mind? You have to destroy and kill the ego mind. So they marveled because they have the God El again and marveled. So now you're starting to understand the God El. This is what the lesson's about. The God El. Sorry, these were questions that I was asking. This is your top brain. This is the covenant of. This is the Ark of the Covenant. Why is it the Ark of the Covenant? Because when Jacob wrestles here, Jacob names the place Pineal. I have seen God face to face. You can't see God face to face because it says in the Bible plainly, Exodus 20, let's see, 33:20. Exodus 33:20 says, no man can see my face and live. So the only way that you can see God's face and live is through the eye of the lamp and your body being full of light. Because Jacob's life was spared. You see, I wrestled with God too, and my life was also spared. And then that's when I started taking my downloads. Okay? So this is your cerebellum. This is your left and right hemispheres of the brain, male and female, divided in wrath. Because when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they were torn apart into individuality, the two hemispheres of our brains. Folks, I am so good at identifying what's going on. Now, why did I bring up this chick here? Because I'm trying to explain to you how these people, these Disney girls, okay, these are all children that are raised on Disney. They make Disney movies. They become child stars. They become child idols. Okay, so children idolize them. Okay, and this woman here, she played on Hannah Montana, or I think it was Miley Cyrus. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's Miley Cyrus. Let me close some of these windows up for a second. Cerebellum. Remember, the bellum is at war. That's what bellum means. The bellum, the two brains are at war with one another. The lower brain, the ego, ourselves, mankind is in continuous fight with the higher mind. And not only are we in a fight with the higher mind, we are, as humans, fighting against each other through the ego mind rather than trying to reconnect and become one again. Bring our hemispheres of the brain together as one so that men and women can be connected on a more spiritual foundation. So what they do, this woman here, Spy Kid Wiki, that's the movie that she's played in a lot of movies, as well as, where are you at? I know I have one open up here. There she is, Miley Cyrus. Okay, Miley Cyrus, this is her sister, and she plays Hannah Montana. Or Hannah Montana played her own self-titled teen sitcom Hannah Montana. Give me 1 second. Oh, give me 1 second. So these girls, they play these roles, and look at them today. The bull ring. What does this bull ring signify? It signifies submission to the slave masters. I need you to understand something. If a woman wears one of those little collars, those plastic collars that goes around her neck, that is a prostitute. That is a whore for the system. Okay? Let me see if I can find one. So real quickly, these are your little whore collars, all right? When you see a woman wearing something like this, not that it even has to say cum slut or any of that. Sorry about that. You know, we're not going to focus on that. I just wanted to show you real quick what they look like. All right. So when you meet a woman, and Britney Spears wears one of these whore collars too. In fact, they all do. These are what you call whore collars. Oh, look at that. Look at how Facebook is going to block me and stuff now. And they ain't going to let me show them. Did I hurt your little feelings? Huh? Yeah, see, Facebook likes trying to piss me off and shit. You know, they're always shoving shit down my face. But when it comes right down to it, they're always hiding the stuff, or they push. Look, here, usually there's a bunch of hoes with their tits hanging out. Yeah, all the time. And why aren't they showing it now? Because I'm doing a show, folks. That's why. Because anything that I say proves my point that they shove women down our throats. So now, Britney Spears, this woman here, Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, they all wear those whore collars. All of them. Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. I'm pretty sure if we opened up images of Miley Cyrus, who just happens to be 33 years of age today, see. The Amanda Bynes show. She played the. I thought that this skit here that this girl here did on the Amanda Bynes show was one of the most funny skits that she did. She played the procrastinator, and it was hilarious. You know, I'll get to it eventually. So, Amanda Bynes are these Disney girls, okay? And this is what it does to them. Not all of them. Some of them like it. But you got to understand that a lot of these people, these girls, they've all been raped in the back of a room. Not just once. And this is why I'm showing you that they wear the bull ring. Because a bull ring is a sign of submission to the slave masters. Okay, so look, there's things that you don't do, all right? in this. You don't date a woman with a bull ring nose. You don't date a woman that has tattoos all over her body. You don't do it. Okay? You don't date a woman that tells you she's crazy, insane, or she's mad. Okay? They're telling you the truth. They're insane. They're crazy. They're mad. Now, I looked into this number here, 426, because of the bull rings. And, well, actually, it was because of the bull rings was because I was trying to find. Oh, my battery's going to die on my phone, guys. It's going to shut off any minute. So I'm going to have to end this stream. What I teach is undeniable, man. Folks, you have to understand what I share is it's valuable wisdom at the greatest understanding. And once you are walking in the light and you're breaking down the etymology of words,